Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a introduction for my years of usage project pan. It'll be hashtag years of usage 2022. If you're new to my channel or just don't know the rules of the project, basically I did this last year, and you put as many palettes as you want in the project, and your goal is to either hit pan or hit the number of uses in each shade of the number of the year. So like it's 2022, so your goal would be your goal would be 22 uses in each shade before you can roll it out. And since I did it last year, I'm rolling those uses over into this year. So like if I made my 21 uses last year, then I no longer am working on that shade. But if I did not hit 21 uses, but I still was keeping track, those uses that I was keeping track count towards my 22 uses for this year. And then if I brought in a new palette that was not in the project last year, I'm just kind of like starting from scratch and like having to work towards 22 uses for those shades. That being said, so I posted my finale a little early last year in like mid-December, but I continued tallying those uses up until the end of 2021, and I like purposely didn't like hit goals or anything. I just kind of like continued to use my eyeshadow and tally it, so it will count towards this year. And then as soon as it switched to 2022, I started using a different color pen to mark my tally so that I know kind of like what is last year's usage versus this year's usage, but you'll see what I mean when I start talking about it. I also wanted to note I added in 3 palettes that are not from that were not in the project last year. So basically there's going to be 3 new ones, but I've already gotten a little bit of progress on some of them just because like one of the palettes I was tallying last year even though it wasn't in the project, just because I knew that I wanted to put it in this year. And then other ones like I've just been using since deciding to put them in the project, and I've been tallying them. And then also wanted to mention that I believe, if I counted right, I have 11 palettes in the project now, and on Instagram it maxes you out at 10 photos per post. And so basically I haven't decided yet if I want to separate my years of usage posts into 2 and have like a part 1 and part 2, or try to hit goal on palettes in an effort to go ahead and roll out an entire palette and focus my progress that way. That way I don't have to deal with making 2 separate posts. So you'll kind of see what I mean when I start. So the newer palettes will be towards the end, but I won't spend too long talking about the older ones because y'all have already seen them. So this is how I tallied my usage. My first palette is the Norvina by ABH, and you can tell like all the red tallies are from last year, which I rewrote everything onto the new paper, and so like the red tallies are from last year and the blue tallies are from this year. So you can see I've used this palette for 1 or 2 looks since 2022 has started, and then the one circled 21 mean I hit my goal of 21 uses in 2021, so they're no longer in the project. So like if I wanted to roll out this palette, I would have to hit at least 22 uses in the remaining shades. So basically the least amount of uses that any of these shades has is 12. Like a few of these have 12 usage, so I would need 10 more uses in those shades in order to roll it out. So this is what that palette looks like. You can tell there's pretty good dips. So basically these 2 shades are already have already been hit goal. Incense has already hit goal. Volatile and Passion have already hit goal. So pretty much I have all of these shimmers left, plus Soul and Love and Eccentric to hit goal in. But I'm really close on a couple of them, like let's see, Love only needs like a few more uses, which is the pink shade, and then like Dazzling, that's like a brownie shade. That's easy shade, basically. Like, I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard to roll out, so let me know in the comments if you think that I should go ahead and do that in order, that way I don't have to like separate my posts into. And also I got bangs. You probably don't think these are bangs, but I got bangs. I haven't really shown the world, so I wanted to show the world. I was trying to go into like punky, but like honestly, most of the time I have them like pushed back like this, so you can't even really tell. But I wanted to show because the world needs to see it. Anyway, okay, there's Norvina. Next up is Sultry. Same order as last time. These don't have as big of dips as the Norvina did, just because previously to my 2021 project, I had worked on Norvina more than this, and also Norvina is a softer formula. So I believe I hit goal in half the shades in this, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So there's 14 shades per ABH palette that I have at least. And so basically I have hit goal on half of them, and I still have to hit goal on half of them. So that would be another contender for if I wanted to roll out a palette, just because it's like 3/4 of the way there basically. And then next up is Pure Visionary. This, after I roll this out of this project, I want to put this Pure Visionary palette in a separate project as like, not a pan that palette, but like some sort of project to where I'm making progress on it. And most of them are already out of the project. As you can see, I only have 3 left to hit goal in, which are Leader, Optimist, and Icon. So these 2 and this one, because all the rest either have pan or hit usage goals. But I really don't like yellow gold, so that's why that one's not it. And then these 2 formulas are a bit patchy now, so basically I have to use them like as a base shade and then go on top of them with a different shade to layer. But I still want to use them. I don't know. Icon has a pretty big dip in it. I don't know if you can really tell. But not that I think I'm going to hit pan, but I do eventually want to just use this whole palette up, so yeah. Anyway, this is definitely a contender for rolling out of the project as far as like hitting my goal quick. And then up next is Becca Ocean Jewels. I only have 1 rolled out of that, which is the Seashell, which is the cream shade. And then the rest have like a decent amount that need to go. I don't like oranges and I don't like yellow, so basically I still have a long way to go on this shade, Sandstone. It's like an orange, and the rest are pretty. I could add some, this Marmite, I don't know if you can really see. I have on like some glitter on my face. It's like a glitter gel, and it's one of those, it's that e.l.f. Glitter gel. That's why I look so shiny right now. It wears terribly and it's terrible, but literally all I'm doing is filming this video and then I'm going to wash it off, so I don't care. And so I kind of want to use that. But anyway, this Mermaid Pearl is such a pretty shade. I say that in like every time I film this video. But there you go. I'll mark a tally for Mermaid Pearl. But that palette has a long way to go. For the other shades, they're all like halfway pretty much, but I just don't want to force myself to use that all the time. I always thought I would use that whenever, like, after I start school and I don't care about my eyeshadow that much and I'm just like slapping something on. I just don't really like orange. So, sorry about that one. That one's not really a contender, I guess. JH Morphe. I don't remember how many. I hit a ton of goals already in this, as you can tell. I don't know if it's quite half. I think there's 36 shades in this palette, and I've hit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Possibly 13 if I counted right. So that would be not even half. Because 36 divided by 2, that would be like, yeah, that's not half. Anyway, I still have a long way to go on a lot of these. However, I am getting close on some of them. Like Butter, I need 2 more. Pukey, I need 3 more. Enchanted, I need like 4 more. So like a few of them are kind of close, but the rest of them are a little bit far. Like the colorful ones, they're all pretty far. But, yeah, I still really like that palette. I need to concentrate on it more because this would be satisfying to use, not gonna lie. I just love this palette, the Jaclyn Hill palette. I should probably show it. I'm sure everyone knows what it looks like, but ta-da! You can tell there's a ton of dips. Like, honestly, I'm sure you've all seen this palette before, and mine is one of the like more used looking ones, in my opinion, at least. I know a few people have panned this palette, like Stephanie, which she never posts anymore, and then who else panned it? Oh, Tyra, which she quit doing it as well. Like, it's a beast of a palette. It's hard to pan, but, and also another girl on Instagram did it. I can't think of her name, but anyway, she has a ton of pans in it, and she did amazing. But anyway, I'm not planning on panning it anytime soon, but I just really love making progress and seeing the big dips in it. And that'd be really cool to like hit pan in it one day, but I don't think it's gonna happen this year. But I'm enjoying using it nonetheless. So, next up is BH Zodiac. I am close in a bunch of them. I really focused on this towards the end of last year, and I only had one goal in it, which was like the easiest shade. It was Aquarius Matte, which was just like a matte light brown, which is good like transition shade. But the rest of them still have some work. I know like the domes on some of these are like pretty flattened out, so that's cool. But I still have a lot of progress left to go on them. I'm sorry, I keep like looking at my eyeshadow because I really like it. I don't usually do like this rainbow of a look, but like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I only did this makeup for this video, so I wanted to do something like out of my comfort zone, I guess. And then, by the way, this middle shade, eventually I'm going to crush it up and like put it in some sort of body glitter situation. But for now, it's going to stay like that because I have so many other body glitters I need to go through first. But yeah, I really like this palette. My favorite shade in the palette is probably this Taurus matte, which ironically I gave away half of it to my aunt. And I also really like this Libra matte, and that's kind of cool because I am a Libra. Yeah, so anyway, some of them are close to hitting a goal. I'm not really going to focus on that one. Anyway, the palette that I'm pretty much wearing on my eyes today, aside for a couple shades, is the BH Take Me Back to Brazil, which everyone's seen this as well. This is like, see, I say I want to pan this palette, but like it's my only all colorful palette, and I like having it in my collection. But that being said, it is one of my older palettes. I think I got it in like 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2018. So I don't want to use it up. I just want to have a bunch of pans in it, if that makes sense. It does. Anyway, it doesn't have that much usage on it from this project. I did use it today quite a bit, and I tried to use like a whole bunch of different colors in it. So, yeah. Literally none of them are close at all, so love that for me. I do need to really focus on this to get some usage, but because of the whole Instagram issue with the only letting me post like 10 pictures at a time, it's probably not going to be my focus palette for now. And I also consider that like a spring/summer focus palette. But the thing is, I'll be starting grad school in June, and so that's probably when I'm probably not going to wear like this type of eyeshadow to class. So maybe I should focus on it earlier than that, but oh well. Okay, so next up is Pat Sublime, and I don't know what this stain is on it. It's kind of gross, but I think it's makeup. It's got to be makeup. So yeah, I am at 10 uses on Sinful, and the rest are like literally all the rest are at 3 because it's only a 5 pan palette. But Sinful is my favorite shade, as you can tell. It's a light green and it's beautiful. I do need to focus in on this palette. I'd love to focus on this palette. This is a pretty duochrome. I don't know if you can tell the shift. But yeah, I don't regret this palette. I think I got it for like 14 bucks. And I mean, yeah, it's like not that much product for 14 bucks, but it's fun saying that I have a Pat McGrath palette. I'm glad I didn't buy like a big one. I was tempted to buy that really giant holiday Pat McGrath one, the like, I don't remember what it's called. I think it was like Divinity something. I don't know. Anyway, I was tempted, but because it was on sale for like 50 or 60 bucks and it was like giant, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna have to make do with what I have. Honestly, these other shades aren't that special. This is like an orangey, and you know how I feel about orangey eyeshadows. I'm just not a huge fan, so. But eventually I'll use it. Alright, next up is the Tati palette. We're getting into our new palettes that I added in this year. And this is one of those ones that I was counting last year, that I was like tallying last year, even though it wasn't in the project, just because I knew I was going to put it in the project this year. If you haven't seen this palette, it's the one that Tati from YouTube, like, this is her one palette she came out with, and now it's like, the brand is like ended. So I feel really cool to have this because like not that many people have it, and I could probably sell it for a lot, but I don't really want to. It was actually like decluttered to me because like my friend bought it and she didn't really use it that much, and so she's like, oh, you want this? I was like, hell yeah. Anyway, so I really enjoy it. It's really pretty, as you can tell. I will say, my favorite shade in the whole palette is this Aura Sequin, because it's so beautiful. It's like reflective glitter on a matte shadow, and I like to use it to brighten up my inner like corner because I get like dark circles around here, and like it's also really beautiful on the brow bone. But anyway, but you can use these others with the sequin as kind of like a matte shadow or like an outer corner type shade, because they function as a matte and you can sort of see the glitter. But honestly, if we're being like on the real, okay, sorry about that. I got like a low battery warning. But anyway, on the real, it flakes off or whatever, so you can't really tell anyway. I mean, like, it's kind of there, but kind of not. But anyway, it is a really pretty palette. These shimmers are not very metallic. They're called metallic, but they're not really metallic. I mean, maybe if you wet your brush really well, but honestly, I never do that. And like, my Jaclyn Hill shades are like way more shiny than this, but honestly, it's really pretty for like every day. And I think I'll get a lot of use out of this, and I already have. So I guess I should show you my tallies on it. So you can see I've already got a lot of use out of it. Some of them I haven't used, some of them I've used a bunch. Like the Aura Sequin, the shade I was talking about, my favorite shade, I'm already at 14 uses. So, yeah. I think this will just be my default. My kind of thoughts with this palette, or, you know, obviously it's a very neutral palette. And I have other palettes, like the Jaclyn Hill palette or like the Norvina and the Sultry, that are very neutral, but I kind of only have like, I've already used the neutral shades 21 times or whatever. So basically, I'm going to use this palette to supplement for those. So like if I decide to focus in on the, like say the ABH ones, I can use this to supplement for the matte shades that I've already like hit goal in the others, if that makes sense. So I'm excited. Anyway. Okay, next up is the only like new palette that came into my life last year, which is the Morphe Sour Patch Kids. I really like this palette. I got it because I won a Morphe giveaway. I didn't like spend my own money on it, but yeah, I really like it. I wanted, like I said, the only colorful palette I had in my collection was that BH Take Me Back to Brazil, and so I wanted like a backup colorful palette, and I used this on my eyes as well today. I mostly use BH, but I did use some of this. Anyway, and also I like, okay, so this shade Unwrapped doesn't really show up on your eyes. It's kind of like a good like setting shade for like your primer, and then so is White Pineapple. So I actually don't mind that there's two of those in the palette. And I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, don't put so many setting shades, or don't put so many, every palette has a black in it, every palette has a brown in it, like a deep brown in it. You don't need those. But it's like, I mean, most people use those in every look, and it's just nice to have it in every palette, in my opinion. So I actually like that. These glitters down here are more like toppers. They're very sheer, but the glitter is pretty. So this is definitely not, in my mind, a standalone palette. This is a really great companion palette. But honestly, the rainbow shades are great. Like, they're very pigmented, in my opinion. But I haven't used them a ton. Like, you literally haven't used them. But when I swatch them, they are very pigmented and pretty, and so that's fine. Have you seen that? I was going to do something crazy, but probably a lot of y'all don't watch TikTok, but there's this TikTok that's like, that's my opinion. And, like, someone just screaming that, and so you're welcome for sparing you of that. Anyway, this barely has any usage because this is the intro of the project, and yeah. Ooh, you can see that glitter on my face. Okay, so that's one that I definitely need a lot of work on, but it's not a focus palette necessarily. I think, see, the thing is, I live in a whole new state now, and I'm going to be moving back home in like 3-ish months probably. But I just moved out here for a job, and I've had COVID the last week, so I haven't really worn makeup at all. Haven't left my house. But what else? Oh, like, I don't have a lot of occasion wear makeup. I mean, I usually don't wear makeup to work, but I could start, and just use, like, basic shades that I don't really like that much. Like, for instance, one of those oranges that I don't really care for, or a yellow gold that I don't care for, because that's just not my vibe. But I could slap that on before work. Anyway, and then this one literally has no uses at all. My Franken Singles, which is the last palette that I'm putting in, which is actually technically made of 2 of my other old palettes, but I Frankened them into this because I had no desire to use the others, and I have desire to use this. So this is the last and final palette in this project, and I am actually very excited to use this. So I think I'll play with it a little bit, but I'm not going to force myself. I think this is one of those, like, do what you want kind of things. And honestly, like, a couple of these are kind of shallow, so I could hit pan pretty easily. Like, this tealy shade's pretty shallow. I mean, some of these, don't get me wrong, some of these are, like, filled to the rim. But, like, these 2 are, like, very shallow. Like, I could potentially hit pan in a few of these. And honestly, that can be said. That cannot be said for the majority of the other shades in this project. So, yeah, I think, like, the thing is, just to recap, I named all these shades myself. It's just, like, basic shades, like purple, brown, deep silver. Like, yeah. Anyway, so there's no way in heck that I can actually roll all these shades out of this project. However, especially, like, with my usage, I calculated it up, and I would have to, like, if I average, dang, I wish I had it off the top of my head. On my Instagram, which is at Sarah Katz Pants, it says on my bio, like, how many shades are in the project, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I did the calculations, and basically, like, it's impossible for me to hit goal in every single one of these shades this year. But I have no problem, like, rolling this project over into next year. But basically, I'm just, like, making progress. I think, I can't remember exactly, but I think last year I hit goal in, like, 20 something shades, and so my goal this year is to beat that, which should be pretty easy because, like, I have a lot of progress on a lot of them. And so basically, I think like, if I could hit over 50 goals hit, I would be pretty happy, because I think there's, like, 200 something shades in this project. And so anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on that. So let me know if y'all think I should try to, like, roll out palettes as a whole, like, focus on them like that to just get them rolled out so that I don't have to put them in my updates. It would also make these videos a little bit shorter, probably. Or if I should just do it, kind of, like, have fun for the first, well, technically it's, like, mid-January right now when I'm filming this. I think it's, like, probably, like, the 19th or 20th. Oh, it's the 22nd. It's the 22nd. So y'all know me. I don't update on a monthly basis. I just kind of update when I feel like I have progress to show, which happens to be about every 2 months. And it's not that I could have definitely filmed this earlier, but like I said, I had COVID and I just didn't really feel like filming, and I don't know, this is the first time I've had time to film, I guess, or like the desire at least. So anyway, I'm excited though, and follow along with my journey, and please leave a comment, because I like to know who watches my videos, because it makes me want to watch theirs, and it also like just makes me feel good that people care to listen to what I have to say about makeup. Ugh. Okay, have a wonderful day. Goodbye. God bless you. God bless your family.